Hi guys, just thought I'd do a bit of an update on my Passion Planner daily, as we have now reached the end of the first quarter of the year, so the end of this planner. This has become what I can only describe as sort of a daily mental health check-in. I think that's what I'm determining. There's a little bit of tracking in here that is beneficial for my mental health. There is some prioritising, there's journaling. Most of the spreads are on Instagram. I have gone back on quite a few of them and added things that are a little bit more personal. So I'm not going to do a flip through or anything, but it has definitely become a really helpful tool, and sharing it on Instagram in some form of way is kind of helping that accountability to kind of keep up the habit and do the habit. And there are a couple of people where I think we've almost become like each other's support mechanisms to try and do that, which I think is quite nice as well. So it is a bit of a chunky monkey. This is it compared to a blank daily with nothing in it. You can see it's maybe doubled, maybe not quite doubled in size, and it's a bit of a beast. One of the things that I really struggled with towards the end, and I'm really impressed with myself that I kept going, is the fact that because I fill this with all sorts of things, it curves and it actually gets really quite challenging to write on, more so than where I sticker my weekly passion planners, bizarrely. Possibly because I've been very sticker heavy with this. So with that in mind, I made some changes for my new one for quarter two, which if you've followed my Instagram stories, you will have seen what I've done. I have pulled it apart and put it in 2 rings, which, you know, I may get to the end of April and hate it, but we're going to stick with it for April and see how it goes. So, what I did, I took a blank bound Passion Planner daily, I opened it up, and I slipped my craft knife down the binding to remove the cover and the bulk of the planner. I then took off the glue strip down the back, which has got the ribbon on, and oh, hold on, I think I'm just going to get disturbed by the cat moment. There we go, disturbed by the cat, as always, really, really helpful. So, yeah, I'm trying to explain what I did without actually doing it, just in case I want to use this. So, this tab here, the ribbon, is glued to a bit of paper that is then glued to these individual booklets that are all stitched together. So I cut the stitching, pulled all those individual booklets apart, opened them out, and then put them through a paper trimmer. Hole punched them and stuck them in here. It was a challenge, I will say that. I don't recommend doing it to most people, but I don't really have a printer that I could print off a daily with. There isn't anywhere where I can easily get it printed for me. We don't have access to similar shops like Staples and stuff like the US does, and of course we're currently in lockdown or just coming out of lockdown, so it's not been able to do any of that, so I just went for it. This is the outcome. It was a challenge. So I have added some things in, I've made some things. This is a page lifter I have made for myself from an old Happy Planner cover. It is by no means perfect, but it does the job quite well. Obviously I have some Animal Crossing vinyl stickers on there. I have some post-its on here just because you never know. And then I have put holes in the cover and stuck that in because I felt it needed the cover if that makes sense. So once I'd taken the cover off, I carefully trimmed the spine bit off, and I have punched the front and the back cover and added it in. I think my thought was that I could still then like bind it all together at the end, so I can like string these through. I've got the elastic to keep it together. We'll see what happens. This vinyl is from the Jones Way on Etsy, because you need to have a sticker on the front of a bound book. You just need something, and this seemed really appropriate considering that this is kind of like my mental health journal basically. So I took out the first few pages because I didn't need them. I've stuck some scrapbook paper on the cover because it gave a little bit more rigidity, and also I made a complete hatchet job of trying to take the paper off, basically. We don't talk about that. The overview pages I'm repurposing, so I've got gratitude prompts at the moment for the Beth Science Gratitude Challenge. I think I'm going to put them in here as a good reference point. This is going to be some form of tracker, probably sleep, but I'm still finalising my decisions. We're only on the 3rd of April, it's fine. The other two are likely to get repurposed in some way, but I haven't got that yet. And this is the split month that I don't like. So to me it seems really odd that you have this here, then you've got all of your overview, then you've got your calendar and your check-in, and then you've got the bear with me, you've got this since you started this planner reflection normally. I kind of think that that would be better suited maybe here or here, and then you can have the month grouped together, but it is what it is. We're repurposing, we're moving things around, it's fine. This is just refill paper that I've used to divide that kind of front bit from the main bit of the planner. I tabbed my monthly pages. These are from a custom design, I think, custom order from Rachel at Beth Signs UK that she did for me, just to find that monthly tab nice and easily, really. I've moved April, you'll see why in a minute. So normally you would have April, May, June, and then you'd go into your dailies. This is where things have moved. So April I have moved to the middle so I can have a bit more of an even balance of pages on either side, if that makes sense. And I have got post-it tabs for where the different individual months start and end in terms of the number of daily spreads I need. I hope that makes sense. So I had, before I moved April, I had all the 3 monthly spreads, then I counted through the number of days for April, stuck a tab, counted through the number of days for May and stuck a tab, is how I did it. So April, somewhere I have a beautiful sticker kit for this spread. Can I find it? No, I can't, but I'm not giving up hope yet. So whatever I end up using my monthly for this time, I'm not going to worry about a couple of days back and forth. I still haven't worked out how to use a spread in a way that works in the context of the rest of this planner, but hey, it's a bit of sticker therapy and it's nice to look at, is kind of how I view it. So that's my monthly pages grouped together, and then I've got the first few days of April. So this is already on my Instagram. So I've got things like gratitude, I've got my time tracking, I've got focus habits, lots of reflection and things, notes on things that affect me in different ways. So things like pull and count on my hay fever is actually really important because that links to problems I have with my eyes and all sorts of other things, and it's worth noting because actually sometimes I can have a really awful day and it's just because my eyes are really bad and it really gets me down. It's things like that and being able to see patterns and understanding yourself. This is from, where is it from? It's from a shop on Etsy, which is really helpful. I will link below where I got this from, because I can't remember. They are a UK shop, and you can have different words at the top and different ombre colours, and this just in my head seemed to work with this rings colours without being too pink, because pink is the accent colour. There's me knocking the camera again. And then yeah, I've just got my days, and I do set up a few days in advance, because if it's not set up when I get to the day, I don't look at it. I learnt that fairly early on. So I'm probably going to sit down and do a few more pages later on. But what I have done to try and make this a little bit easier is I have snipped the pages. So I first saw this in ringed planners from Rachel, Ellie Beth Designs UK. She did it with hers, and it works really, really well, because what you can do is you don't have to pop your rings open all the time. You can take your days, you can put your planner to one side, and then you just have a lovely smooth flat surface on which to write for the day, and that is lovely in my mind. It's already changed the way I approach my daily, even though we're only 3 days into April. So yeah, the next few days are planned. I'm using specific kits for the Passion Planner Daily from UK shops, which I never thought I'd be able to say. A variety of shops. I have lots of kits to choose from depending on my mood. I like variety. So yeah, it's all there. It's good. And then we've just got more pages. I still have all of the dot grid pages at the back. I still even have stickers in the pockets. The back cover on here, because again you can like push that round. I have a pocket, I have a few bits of lined note paper, stickers everywhere in that, and then I have the other half of my sort of page lifters, and then I have just a Filofax notebook tucked in the back pocket to give it a little bit more rigidity. So yeah, it was a bit of a drastic decision, and it kind of went from me thinking, I wonder if that would work, to 5 minutes later posting in one of the Facebook groups asking if anybody had done it, and then it just happened. So I think it went from about 15-20 minutes from me thinking, that could work, to it actually happening. It took a while, it was uncomfortable. Not all of the pages are that nicely trimmed. I don't know how well we can see that on the camera, not very well. There are rough bits, but as I get to pages it's quite easy to take those apart. That's just leftover bits from glue or bits of the string that was used to stitch it together. Because this has been taken from the daily as well, the pages are very slightly shorter than A5. I think the A5 is actually the full length of the cover, which means that when you are using an A5 punch, sometimes it doesn't quite line up, which was a great challenge. So some sheets, like this one, have had the holes extended a little bit with a single hole punch. But despite the headaches of trying to get it together and all the irritatingness of swearing at trying not to cut myself and various other things, I am really liking having it in rings. It's got me into a slightly better habit of sitting down and properly dedicating the time to it, because this is a floppy cover and it's a bit bulkier, so it's not quite as portable as it was, which is fine. I'd still take it wherever, but instead of you know, me doing things like planning in bed all the time or sitting in bed with sticker books and everything else. I can actually sit down and do that at my desk quite nicely, which is a better habit to get into. So yeah, we're only 3 days into April. I really like it so far, but we'll see what happens. The main idea of this is that if it bulks up, I can just take pages out and then still have it without being difficult to write on. So yeah, that's my Passion Planner Daily update, and this is my Passion Planner Daily, which I really, really like. I will leave links to all of the different shops that I've used for supplies in the description box below. I will also leave my Passion Planner link and discount code, which gives you 10% off your order at Passion Planner. But don't forget that there is a huge range of free downloadable resources on the Passion Planner website, including an entire Passion Planner Daily that you can just download and print yourself to do something like this with, rather than being a crazy lady and pulling apart a beautifully, perfectly bound planner, as how I view myself at the moment. But there we go. Little bonus video, little update, bit chatty. So until my next video, guys, happy planning.